guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and thank you for clicking. So I know Nickelodeon, if you watch this video, I know most likely you watch Nickelodeon, and I think it has been the best channel which has shaped my childhood in terms of entertainment. And I've decided to make this video to just create a good list of all the shows that made me enjoy life, because after 2018, I think, when I got a smartphone, I stopped watching all those shows, and throughout my childhood, my life has been with Nickelodeon, Disney Junior, all those childhood channels, and I think they have formed a part of me. I keep repeating them. Even now, I'm repeating most shows I was watching back then. So stick with me to the end as I list some of my favorite shows from Nickelodeon, and in case you have not different, in case you agree with me, just put it down in the comments, and I hope you enjoy the video. So in this video, I'm not going to do much editing because I don't have a computer, but I hope you get what I'm trying to communicate. So let's begin. First up on our list is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yes, the 4 Turtle brothers. If you have watched Nickelodeon, you know that this show was top back in 2016. I think it ended around 2018. Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, and Leonardo, the 4 ninjas. It is a pretty old show, but I think it had many seasons, and it ended up pretty good and bad in a way, because you all know in the animation it started with Splinter, who had a fight with Shredder back when they were young, before they came to New York City, and because of this mutagen, it just had a great storyline, and I think it ended pretty badly. Yes, the brothers were reunited. If you watched the last episode, they were reunited. I think Leonardo was a mutant. Yes, he was already a mutant, but he got more mutagen in him and he became this monster. Thirdly, Donatello, he died, but his brain was transported into a robot, if you remember. Who else? Michelangelo became old. Raphael, he was the only one who survived that invasion. I love that series very much because I don't know, I really connected with that ninja aspect of the show because I was a very fan of karate. We watched Karate Kid, and so I think that show pretty resonated with me a lot. I remember I would go back home, I would come home from school running. Remember, I don't even want to miss an episode, because Nickelodeon those days, it would repeat the episode during the day and I was at school. So that show, I really loved it a lot. I think I had to give it number 1 in terms of its storyline. And remember, the movie came out, which was also very amazing, and I just had to put it number 1. And on a scale of 1 to 5, on a rate of 5 star, 1 to 10, I would give it an 8 in terms of the animation, the movie itself, and the overall storyline. I really loved it. Second on our list, you know who it is. Henry Danger. Yes, Captain Man and Henry Danger end up second. The first one was an animation, this one was a TV show, and this Henry Danger also had an animation, but it did not stay that long. So Henry Danger, I think it was the first show I ever watched on Nickelodeon. Yes, it was the first show I ever watched on Nickelodeon, because I remember when my mom bought a DSTV. In our DSTV was like the brace of entertainment back then, around 2014. So when I got it, the first channel which appeared weirdly while it was loading, it was Nickelodeon, and Henry Danger was being advertised to be coming up next week. So it was the first show I watched, and I really loved that experience it brought. Though I missed quite a couple episodes, I hear there was a musical about it. Even the animation, I did not watch it that much, and sadly it ended in a good and a bad way, because honestly I did not expect Henry Danger to stop being Henry Danger, and I was kind of bored when they introduced Danger Force. As you grow up, you get used to these things. That excitement slowly fades. To be honest, I would have watched the Danger Force, but I stuck with Henry Danger, so I don't think I would have resonated well with Danger Force. But I think the kids of this time, I think they're really going to enjoy, because they also have our previous shows. But I think Henry Danger was very fun. The comedy between Ray and Henry, also Charlotte, Jasper, and Shows. I really love that comedy. Very fun, family friendly. and it was just something good to go back home, watch, and enjoy with your family, because even my mom loved it, my cousin loved it, and he was older than me. He was my age back then, and I think it was just fun. Even now I keep rewatching it. I think that show covered almost all ages generally. It covered all ages. I think that is why it resonated well with me, and the jokes were simple to understand, because yes, it is a kids show, it is a kids channel, but I had to give it number 2, and yeah, that was my top. I love it till today, and I hope they make a remake. And actually there is a movie of Henry Danger which I have not watched. I have not gotten time to watch it, but trust me, I'll watch it. And Jason Norman did a pretty good job there, playing as Henry Danger, and he also played in several other movies in nickelodeon. So I just had to give this show number 2. Third on our list of top 5, I think I'm going to name the video top 5, is the Thundermans. Yes, Mr. Thunderman. But the part that I really loved about the Thundermans was not Jack Griff. I'm mentioning his real name. It's Max Thunderman and Phoebe Thunderman, the 2 siblings who really loved to quarrel. I really loved that series because of that superhero aspect. Even in Henry Danger, I really enjoyed those shows where there was a superhero aspect to it. The thing I loved about the Thundermans was that beef between Phoebe and Max, trying to be better than the other. Max was the villain and Phoebe was the good girl, let me say that. Again, I loved, I'm even forgetting their names, Billy, Nora, and that rabbit. What was his name? I don't, Colasso, yes, Dr. Colasso, and their parents. Oh, Babe and Hank. Was it Hank? I saw it has been so many, around 3 years since I stopped watching that show. But I really loved it. It was fun, and I think they, especially the crossover they had with Henry Danger. Thundermans was, I would give it a 7 compared to Henry Danger, because I think Henry Danger was better. But yeah, something that I wish they would have done better is, I wish they would have done more videos where they were together. Together by I mean, in most episodes, each family member was out there doing their own thing, and that was kind of weird, because in most episodes it was Max and Phoebe at one place and the rest of the family in the other place. But I don't complain. At that time I really enjoyed it, and that stuff about film, I didn't care about it. I really loved the comedy. The comedy was top notch, especially between Max and Phoebe. But Nora and Billy, they stopped. I didn't like their comedy when they grew up, not now when they grew up, because I knew Nora, she was more of feisty, like Piper in Henry Danger. I forgot to mention, I think she lost that feistiness when she got a bit older. But now I think there's another show continuing for the Thundermans where that little baby, what was she called? No, Chloe. I think she was called Chloe. There's another show continuing the Thundermans, and I'm going to watch it. I just have to watch it. I think for most shows I'm going to mention, there is another show continuing it. So that is it. The Thundermans, really loved it. Comedy was top notch, and it was just one coming home to watch such. That on our list, I think we're in the third one. That on our list, it is Nikki, Ricky, Dicky, and Don. I swear that show, it was like my best. That quadruple sibling, I really loved it. But the issue, I used to confuse them. Nikki, I think it was Nikki and Ricky. I used to confuse those 2 siblings. Let me call them siblings. And the weird thing, at that age, back when I was a kid, I really saw that those people looked alike, those siblings. And the thing that I think caught the attention of most kids is Dawn, because she was the only girl in that family, and the casting they did was just amazing. Forgive me for the noise, my friends are in the other room making some noise, so bear with me. I think the casting was pretty good. Even the side actors, they did a pretty good job. Even the parents, I cannot mention their name because it's been a while and I'm trying to be consistent with YouTube, so doing research, I promise the videos will be better. But I just want to say the comedy was top notch, and every episode was a new adventure for them. You know, they were kids, so they were doing all these crazy things back at home and at school, and I think each of them brought a good perspective. Dawn was the more responsible one, let me say. Dicky was more, not dumb necessarily. He was more yes, not he was sort of weird. And Ricky, Ricky, I even forgot. Ricky was the smart one. I think he was the one with the blonde hair, and Nicky was the chef. He was a chef. And yeah, looking back, though, I made some good memories watching that show with my cousin and my mom. And most of the shows I watched with my mom because they resonated well. These are shows which they don't have a restriction of age. So I would give it a 9, to be honest. Nikki Ricky Dicky and Don, I loved it a lot. Very, very much. I think they did a crossover where they did it was kind of a movie, a Nickelodeon movie, where they went out on Hollywood and did a very big adventure. They are watching a game, so please bear with me. Sorry for the noise, but yeah, I think that one, yeah, I give it a 9. It was a very good show, especially the opening scene. Na 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 na. I cannot sing it right here, but you get the sense. And for the shows I've mentioned previously, you notice they had a good opening scene. For the Thundermans, I think it was Max who made Jack Griff who made that song. Life you see is not what you get. Living all life with a secret. I cannot sing all of it. And for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, obviously. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, standing in the whole shell, Turtle Power. Here we go, continuation. I say I don't want to make this video as long as it should be, so that's why I'm very brief. Fifth on our list, we all know what makes the world go around, music. So fifth, I had to put School of Rock. School of Rock, I think it came in 2017 or 2016. And I think something that I loved was that at that time, there were very few shows on Nickelodeon which focused on music. There was Make It Pop, which one else? There were several, but I think School of Rock was better because how can I say this? It touched most kids because School of Rock was about kids in high school, and the teacher was a guitar player. He played guitar, and I really loved the songs. Though they were remix of some originals, like one for Justin Bieber, another one for Demi Lovato. Anyway, I loved the casting, and those kids sang pretty well. I only remember Lawrence and Tamika, and I don't remember Summer. They sang pretty well, and yeah, it was pretty good. I loved that musical aspect. Personally, I love listening to music, and to get a show which focuses on music, it was pretty amazing for me. I really enjoyed each and every episode with Mr. Finn, and I always wanted to have a teacher who would stop teaching and teach us guitar lessons, so we would rock all day and go back home, forget about studying. But in real life, if that happened, I know we would all feel, but it was pretty fun watching it. And that music aspect, that time I did not have a phone to check out all these songs. I just realized that they were remix of some original songs, and yeah, I really love that. At least I was connected to the world in a way. So yeah, that one would be my last, and I think that completes the list. And I know there are many others like Timitana, what was it called Fairy Godparents. There are many more shows I could mention, but I think those ones fitted the category very well. And Nickelodeon, thank you so much personally, because you have formed a very important part of my childhood, something that I will not forget, and something I think most kids who are watching you now will not forget. Everything about Nickelodeon was amazing, and yeah, and guys, it is good to mention these things because time flies, we all get older, but we need to remember where we came from in terms of entertainment. Thank you guys for sticking to the end of the video. The video has been longer than I was expecting it to be. I wanted it to be around 10-15 minutes, and I'm grateful for you for being here. So I'm Kevin. I forgot to mention, I love to draw, I love watching movies, I love listening to music. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end. So in the comments, I would like to know which one was your favorite Nickelodeon movie, which one movie, there were movies and your shows, and tell me where you are watching me from, so that I may get to know where my audience is from, whether you are from Kenya, whether you are from Australia. Just let me know. And in the comments, which other video would you like me to do in terms of Nickelodeon or in terms of movies? Because I watch movies, I like commenting about movies, but I just want to know which ones you would like me to do. And the video, I'm going to try my best to edit it, though I'm going to do it on my phone, so don't expect fancy edits. So I'm just trying my best, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. This is Kevin watching, and right now I'm still in university and still working hard for that degree. see you in the next video, and I hope you have a wonderful morning, a wonderful evening, and a wonderful afternoon, depending on which time you're watching me. And yeah.